what's up, everybody who's watching? This is being live streamed on YouTube, but this is also going to be uploaded onto YouTube as its own video. But this is a Lord of the Rings of Power, specifically a Season 1 character tier list. So we're going to be going through talking about each of the different characters that are on this tier list right here, and we're ranking them with a lot of favorite, good slash interesting, solid, poor slash uninteresting, and irrelevant. I already know I'm probably not going to have too many hot takes and characters. I don't know. Can't really. I might. There might be one or two hot takes. Um, but I will. We'll kind of talk about it a little bit more the deeper we get into it. So the first character that is going up on our tier list is Erondir, and honestly, I mean, I brag about him a lot. He's been my favorite character throughout the entire show, and so there's no question about it. He's such a good character. He embodies everything that a hero is supposed to be, and so I mean, there's no doubt that he's going to be up in the favorite list. I don't see any reason why I would take him anywhere else. He's a fantastic character. Bronwyn is honestly kind of in a similar boat. She is a great character. My only kind of gripe with Bronwyn is that I think her struggles, she got over them a little too quickly. Basically one conversation with Rondir. Yeah, we can fight. I think that kind of hurts her from being a favorite. But she's still a great character. Yeah, she's a great character. I love her. I really liked her in season. I am sad we're not going to be able to see because actress stepped away thing, but again, overall, she's a great character. I love her a lot, and absolutely. Um, yeah. Next up, we have Celebrimbor. So, I'm planning on making a video about this. I don't know exactly when it is going to be coming out. Probably not for a few weeks, just because there is a lot to talk about with Celebrimbor in terms of Rings of Power. But Celebrimbor is actually of the show. I really don't done well personally. This is one of those breach of lore areas where I'm to kind of go to war over it. I don't think he is an irrelevant character, but I definitely cannot rate him as a high character. There's not much to him. He is important, but he really is overall a pretty uninteresting character, and I expect to probably get some clap on that, but that's fine. I I'm fine. I accept that fate. He wasn't well done, and I'm not afraid to say it. Disa right up there. She's probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite female character in the entire show. Her support of Durin and her willingness to support him in whatever decision he makes, as well as her humbleness and her love for Elrond is just, it's great. She's a fantastic character, and same thing with Durin. I'm gonna rate Durin just a little bit higher than Disa. I say a little bit higher, but honestly, I think when it comes down to it, Disa is a favorite, but she's probably my lowest of my favorite characters. Um, so I can't. It's hard because I don't. I Here's what I'm gonna do. I love Disa. I kind of feel bad for doing this, but I'm gonna put her here at good slash interesting, only because I have so many characters that I absolutely love in this show, and I really want to make sure that I still have some sort of variance within the characters here. Next up, we've got Aodian. I'm sorry, she's irrelevant. I have not enjoyed her within the show. Um, I hope she gets better as season two goes on. But in terms of a season one character, I can't. I just I don't like her right now. I'm sure the Rings of Power community will disagree with me on that, but it's fine. Next up, we've got Adar. I don't even think anything much more needs to be said about that. It's Adar. He's fantastic. Same thing with honestly a lot of these characters. There's a lot of great characters in this show. There are a lot of not so great characters though as well. So we're kind of going to be all over the place. Elendil, he's right up there. So a lot of people are probably wondering why Durin keeps getting dropped lower for my favorite characters. A lot of that comes because without Elrond, Durin is not nearly as interesting. Like Durin without Elrond goes down to a solid. And so actually I think because of that I have to put him here. Because without Elrond, Durin loses a lot of his character. So I think Elrond is going to be is going to be there in the good slash interesting. He's kind of in the same boat of without Durin, he's not nearly as great of a character. Galadriel. Galadriel is one of my favorites. A lot of people don't like how she's been portrayed throughout Rings of Power. I don't care. Morpeth Clark, I think has been doing a fantastic job. I want to see her continue to. I love seeing her be humbled throughout season one, and so I want to just continue to grow in that aspect and become the Galadriel that we know her to be in the first age. So, yeah. Next up, we've got Gil-galad. Gil-galad is a great character. The only reason I can't really rate him that high is because you don't really see him on screen. So he's going into the solid character. Um, he's a great character. I think he's really interesting. I think he's got a lot. He definitely has a lot of room to move throughout this list. I think between everybody in their tiers, the ones who will be able to move around the most will be Gil-galad, Aodian, the Stranger, and I don't even remember this guy's name, but Farazan's son. And yeah, actually, that's going to be about it. Most people, they're going to be pretty well solid. It'll take a lot, I think, for any others to really move around on the list. Next up, we've got Halbrand slash Sauron. Um, I'm going to put him here. Once you realize he's Sauron, I think Halbrand's character is stronger as Halbrand and without Sauron. Like, I honestly think season one, as it was, would have been really interesting if Sauron just was not there. And then you don't, and then in season two, you get the Anatar reveal. Or you get introduced to Anatar and you don't see him at all, like, doing anything malicious until season two. I think that would have been really interesting. Um, but Halbrand as a character is really cool. Kind of ruins himself being Sauron. I wish he wasn't, but yeah. Up next, we have the Stranger. The Stranger is another solid character. He's honestly the strongest point of the Harfoots in that whole story. There's not a lot of areas with the Harfoots that I personally enjoyed. And the Stranger is really kind of the only thing. I think there's a lot of areas where we could have had the Stranger, but not necessarily needed Harfoots. But again, a lot of this stuff I'm going to be talking about in a video that I'm working on and editing that will be talking about me talking about my different thoughts and feelings towards Rings of Power Season 1 and a lot of my hopes and dreams for Rings of Power Season 2. Uh, so, um, so we're going. So you're definitely gonna want to wait for that. That'll be up. Not this Wednesday, not in 2 days, but a week from Wednesday. So I'm still working on the editing for that one. I'll probably have this one debut on the YouTube channel in between. Probably do like a heavily edited video and not so heavily edited video, so that way I have about 2 weeks to work on a more stronger, heavier edited project. I still need to come up with some ideas for what I can do without a lot of editing, but again, that's a lot of future projects and just kind of thinking out loud in that way. Anyways, up next we've got Isildur. Isildur, I think I'm gonna rate higher than Adar. These two can be swapped around. Honestly, they're two of my favorite characters as well. Isildur has a lot of really cool moments throughout the entire show. I think he's definitely the character that we're gonna be seeing grow probably the most throughout the entire show. So I do really want to see how Isildur will continue to grow, and I think he just has a lot of other really cool moments. Next up, we got Farazan's son. He's less interesting than Aardian. Aardian, the biggest thing that she contributes is more family tension in Elendil's household. I don't even know what he does right now, so he doesn't do anything. He's probably the least interesting character in the entire show. Next up, we've got the two Brandyfoots. I can't give them high interest. I really was not the most interested in them. I think Nori's father is really cool. Well, he's not really cool. He's about the most interesting of all of the Harfoots. But yeah, I really can't give any of the Harfoots a lot. I don't really like them. Really at all. So I think when it comes to Harfoots, when it comes to the Harfoot story, this is pretty much how I'm going to be rating it. The Nazgals, they're interesting, kind of, but also I don't really like them at the same time. Sadok is the most interesting of any of the Harfoots, so I'm excited to see kind of. Well, no, I'm not really. I kind of just want that area of the Rings of Power to get better. So, yeah. Up next, we have Miriel. Miriel is another great character. Uh, she has a lot of development throughout the entirety of season 1, and I'm excited to see where she, like, how her character continues to develop. Honestly, I think she will probably end up getting killed. But exactly in what capacity, I don't know. Next up, we've got Fadozan. Fadozan kind of falls under the same area as Gil-galad in that they're both really, really cool characters. They just need more screen time in order to fully develop. Once Farazan, I think, gets more screen time, I think he will definitely be a stronger character in the show. And then we've got Theo. Theo, I'm sure a lot of people are going to disagree with me on this one, and I say, heck, all you guys, I don't care. Theo is going to be right at the bottom of my favorites list. He has so many areas where he is just going to be doing a lot of really his relationship with Arondir developing throughout season 1 has been really cool, and with the inevitability that Bronwyn is killed, I am excited to see how Theo, excuse me, how Theo and Arondir's relationship continues to develop. So here it is, the obvious definitive tier list of Ring of Power characters. I know many people will probably not agree with me. Many people might agree with me. I don't know. Either way, this is what it is. I'm sure the biggest hot takes on a lot of these are probably going to be Aodian, some of the Brandyfoots, Ladria, but those areas, I'd love to hear some constructive thoughts and stuff down below. So if you guys have any constructive thoughts, what towards this tier list, please let me know down in the comments below. If you guys want to talk about it more, I do have a Rings of Power section down in my Discord. So guys talk Lord of the talk Kingdom Hearts, talk pretty much anything you find in the Discord. Would love to be able to talk more with more people. We also do have a Ko-Fi page, so make sure you guys are checking that out. That is a great way that you guys can get early access to YouTube videos, get them 2 days early, as well as be able to join on a watch party for the Gondor Gatherings podcast that I will be starting here, just talking over with Tolkien fans alike, whether they be big time content creators or just regular folk out of their own, talking about their experiences with Tolkien and what what the world that Tolkien created means to them, and kind of talking about their favorite moments in the movies, talking about their favorite books, things they might be interested in looking of Power or the Hunt for Gollum movie coming out in 2026. So yeah, that's what I got for you guys here in this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. For those watching not on the YouTube live stream, if you guys want to, make sure you guys follow on Twitch, subscribe on YouTube. That way you guys can kept up to date other updates that are going to be happening on channel. Another thing too that I'm just going to throw this out there for all Ko-Fi supporters, if or for anybody who is not a Ko-Fi supporter, if you do support on Ko-Fi, then we will start hosting movie nights in the Discord for Ko-Fi supporters. We're watching, obviously, Lord of the Rings movie, Rings of Power, well as probably even watching other things together. I don't know exactly what that all is going to look like, but that is the goal for anybody who is supporting on Ko-Fi. So please do consider supporting there. That will be the best way to be involved on anything going on. If you are subbed on Twitch, then you will also be allowed to participate in. I'll be kind of making a voice channel for all the Ko-Fi and Twitch subs. So make sure you guys check those out. Ko-Fi link should be in the description below, as well as the Twitch link. So if you do not want to support on Ko-Fi, you can also support on Twitch and sub there, so you guys can get access to emotes. You guys can use TV that are drawn by my wonderful wife, Dr. Pi, as well as my amazing sister-in-law, Sketch Farm. So make sure, again, you guys sub on Twitch. Thank you guys again for watching, and may the grace of the Valar go with you. You are loved, and we will see you next time on the channel.